Morgan County officials have seen a spike in COVID-19 cases in recent weeks, and now Decatur city officials are requiring people to wear masks that cover the nose and the mouth in public places. Masks must be worn in the following places open to the public: indoor spaces, stores, bars, restaurants, entertainment venues, city government buildings, transportation, mass transit, paratransit, taxi or ride-sharing services, and outdoor areas where 10 or more people cannot maintain 6 feet distance and are not in the same household. Now, there are a few exceptions. If a child is 2 years old and younger, if a person is eating or drinking, patients in medical offices, dentist offices, clinics, or hospitals where it's necessary to treat the mouth or nose, a mask may be temporarily removed or displaced for hair care services. A person has a respiratory disease, a person wearing other respiratory protection, people operating heavy-duty equipment, effective communication, including people who are hearing impaired, indoor athletic facilities complying with the extended safer at home order, places of worship, voting centers, and private clubs and gatherings. The ordinance indicates if you don't comply, you're given an initial warning by law enforcement. The next violation is a fine up to $500 at the discretion of a municipal judge. The ordinance will remain in effect unless the Alabama Department of Public Health or the Morgan County Health Department gives guidance to discontinue or change the order. City Council members plan to review or seek guidance for amendments at least every 30 days. Putting the Valley first, Kenesha Dees, WZDX News.